Okay, we're back for another week of Unturned Pages. As you can see, Russ is not here tonight. We have Jody. She's back for a special episode.
Hi, guys.
She's back, and she's with our guest in Denver, Colorado today. So I'm super excited. How are you, Miss Jody?
I'm going to do a little magic. Watch this. And I'm going to hang out with Jenay.
There we go.
Oh, I don't know which way this. I guess I got to go closer to you. I don't know how to work that. Okay, I am gonna turn my camera off because I'm gonna be with her, and so you can see me there. Okay.
Let's do that.
All right.
Okay. So tonight's guest is Jenay. She is the Kitchen Witch. She's just been in a book, Tea Magic with Llewellyn. So I'm super excited to have you on.
We're turning up the volume.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We met last year in Denver, so I'm super excited to finally have you on to talk about your book and the teas you make and the products. I love your products. They're really good.
Thank you.
So let's talk. Let's get into it. There you are. Let's just get right into it. How did you get into like the pagan community, or did you always grow up kind of pagan?
You know, I was really lucky to be born to hippie parents who, my first part of my life lived out in Oregon in the woods in a teepee with my mom. And so I really just kind of grew up magical and grew up witchy and grew up pagan. So it's always been there.
That is so cool. You grew up in a teepee.
For my first few years, when we had to start school, we moved to the city. We lived there in the summertime, not in the winter. It's too cold in Oregon to live there in the winter.
My light just went out. So
there you are.
It's like all of a sudden the light went out. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was on the timer, but okay. So, but yeah. So for someone who's not really know a lot about tea magic, how would you describe tea magic?
Well, tea is a ritual unto itself. The whole preparation of tea, the whole imbuing, drinking in the tea, the potion, the elixirs, it's all magical. Your cup itself is a cauldron, your teacup cauldron. And I just kind of slipped into it, I guess, when I was young. I was really into peppermint tea. That was like my mom and grandma's go-to if there was anything wrong. Oh, have some peppermint tea. And just as I grew and got more and more into herbs and just the healing concepts of herbs and plants, I just moved into tea and then tea proper. And the next thing I knew, I just realized, wow, tea is a ritual. This whole thing is magical. This whole thing is a potion that you get to make and drink. So that's kind of how I opened up to tea and magic. And then it's been an unreeling of how to put that into words and how to explain that to other people, even though most people go, oh yeah, tea is a ritual, tea is magic. And that's how it started.
So Jenay, what made you decide to create the book and write tea magic for others to enjoy?
You know, I was giving a lecture about tea and tea magic and how to use tea in your magical practices. And it was a big lecture at a convention in San Jose called Pantheacon. And as I was giving this lecture, it was a packed house. It was standing room only. There was about 200 people there, maybe more. And just happened to be that the acquisitions manager for Llewellyn was in the audience, and she came and said, wow, this is amazing. Do you have a book? And I was like, yes. And they're like, well, we have to publish it. And I'm like, great. Okay. And so I got home after that convention. I'm like, oh my gosh, when am I going to find time to write a book? And then, well, that was 2020. And all of a sudden I had all the time to write a book.
You had all the time in the world, didn't you?
I did.
So in your book, do you have some different rituals or different magical things about this book that came directly from your lineage?
From my lineage? No, I don't quite understand the question. Like so things that my mom and grandmother had. Yes. So, well, my first most magical thing about tea, what I thought tea was peppermint, right?
Mhm.
And so adding hot chocolate to peppermint tea blew my mind as a child. So that was like my first kitchen witchery practice right there, adding chocolate to peppermint. And so in the book, I really just try to break down. There is a really good ritual in there to do with tea that you could do solitary or with a coven, and I just kind of melded that all together. So like tea with using the moon to charge your tea water, your tea proper, the stones that you might want to use with your tea. So I would say that charging food, praying over food, all of that has probably been handed down to all of us, right?
Sure,
So
absolutely.
I don't know if I have anything like directly like my mom taught me this or my grandmother taught me this, because they taught me everything anyway.
Sure.
So I don't think I broke it down like that in the book.
So no secret, spells or secret
There's spells
recipes
in there. There are spells and
That's what I
recipes
was
in
trying to get
there.
at.
Yes, I have this great recipe and tea spell on how to catch a liar.
Ooh.
And it uses oolong tea, because oolong tea is right between a green tea and a black tea.
Yes, it is.
And I think that the truth falls somewhere in between also, right?
Yep.
Right.
So there's this whole spell in there to use how to use your oolong tea and a piece of pyrite, fool's gold, right? To really break down and get the truth out of somebody. But you have to be careful. You have to shield yourself, because it'll work on you too. So any spell is always double-sided. So you got to make sure you're very careful with your words, because your truth will also spill out.
So listen up,
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen. You're going to find that in this book.
Thank
Just remember
you.
that. So
Yes.
you can find out what your significant other may or may not be saying, or maybe a colleague at work if they're gossiping about you.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Truth.
True, definitely. So I know, like in your book, you talk about like the 6 main types of tea: the black tea, the white tea, the green tea, and the other ones. Can you kind of go one by one and quickly tell everyone the difference between each one?
Okay, so first of all tea, green tea, white tea, yellow tea, it's black tea, it's all the same plant.
Mhm.
There's nothing different. It's about how the tea is harvested and prepared and dried that actually changes the tea concept. So white tea is when the little flowering buds of the tea comes off of the tea branch and it's covered with little white silvery hairs. That is a white tea. Green tea is a flash fried, which is Chinese style, or a quick steamed, which is a Japanese style. That has the most antioxidants in it. Doesn't have as much caffeine as black tea, but it has more caffeine than the white tea. Black tea is actually fermented, and that is how you get the black tea. Yellow tea is also like a oxygen deprived tea, so it is put in a box. It's kept, the lights kept out of it, and then it's dried. So that's how you get the yellow tea. Like the pu'ers is another tea that has been fermented and packed into a disc, and so it has a really rich, earthy, yummy, deep, rich flavor.
Oh, I've never tried that one.
Oh,
That
it's
sounds really
wonderful.
good.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
get them from little tiny discs to big discs, and you just
Hmm.
break a piece off.
I'm going to have to try that.
And that is like the champagne of tea. Like there are pours that go back, almost 100 years that you can find. And when
Oh,
I
wow.
was in Kunming in China, there was a tea disc, a puer that was like from 1920. It was like $30,000 or
Wow.
something insane, right? Yeah, I didn't try any of that, but
Yeah.
it's out there. It has its place, like a champagne would, or something aged like a wine. And okay, so that's about the teas. Did I cover them all? Oh, and then like there's other teas that I honorable mentions in there, like Lapsang Souchong, which is a black tea that has been dried over pine fire. So the actual natural smoke of the pine fire smokes the tea, so it's a smoky blend.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very
there's
nice. I
lots of
haven't tried that
teas
one.
that you can try, but there's really just one tea, but it's how it's dried that makes it a white tea, a green tea, or black tea.
So considering you were really into working with the teas and doing your book, is this what's inspired you for the Kitchen Witch Gourmet for the products to do your teas that you sell?
The teas definitely came first. The teas just came because I had this brilliant idea that I wanted to sell love and happiness. And how do you do that? Like, how do you sell love and happiness? And I just thought, oh, food or tea with intent, like to sell a product with intent that you actually imbue or that you can share with your friends and family. So then I do a tea and spice line, and the spices actually came first before the teas. And so I did a spice line, and I did like birds of a feather poultry seasoning used to bring family and friends close together, and like the hot and salty passion spice. Then it kind of drifted into the teas, like love tea number 3, which is a beautiful green tea with roses and pomegranate and like a little horny goatweed and
Yes.
damiana. So it's an aphrodisiac.
And it's really, really good.
It is. And so I just really like the idea of just selling happiness, like abundance of happiness or love tea number 3, and really getting people to be conscious of what they're putting into their body and becoming the magic of the tea, becoming the magic. And that's the whole concept of imbuing, putting in and sharing that magic. You become the wand, the vessel. And that's kind of what led to the book. As you know, I started doing this with the teas and the tea spells, and putting that into the recipes, and then the book unfolded after that.
And I'm telling you, you guys, her teas are amazing. Now, yes, you can purchase the Kitchen Witch Gourmet at Enchanted Boutique. You can get it at Midwest Witchery and Healing, but you can also go to kitchenwitchgourmet.com, and you can actually order it there too. And she's got a variety, and she's got so many wonderful products, and she even does different things. In the fall, we did those beautiful, and they were on these gorgeous dishes. They were these leaf dishes, and it was caramel apple. What was the other? No, a chai. It was a chai tea.
Chai, caramel,
And it was like it had the tea in it. It had a little bit of like honey or something with it, and it had a spoon. It was fantastic. And then she's got the boxes. You can get the full gift box with 2 beautiful teas in a glass container. Absolutely stunning, the glass
Thank
jars.
you.
And it comes with, a couple other things along with it. But she's got everything from medicinal, like she says, or to just the taste. She's got a tea for everything. And it is just such a phenomenal product. I can't talk high enough about it. Being a nurse myself, the antioxidants and the products she creates is really, really healthy, you guys. It's organic. It's a wonderful product. So definitely, look onto the Kitchen Witch Gourmet, or come to Enchanted Boutique or to Midwest Witchery in Stillwater, and definitely purchase some.
And she even does bath teas too.
Yes, and she
which
does
I
bath
love.
teas. And that's what we were going to just start going on to. So what brought you into the bath products? Because you expanded.
Oh, no. See, the bath products started 20 years before the tea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I had this aromatherapy company, and it was like lotions, potions, scoops, candles, and incense. And I started doing the bath teas then. So the 4 bath teas that I have proper, I have been manufacturing for 25 years, like a long time. And when I moved into edible food, edible products, I didn't drop the bath tea line because it's still a tea. Even though you steep it in your bath or you put the herbs into your bath water, it's still a tea. So I kept it. So I kept the tea, and they really are tried and true products. And I've been selling those, like I said, like 25 years. And I have a personal love affair with them because I love to take baths.
So do I. And I can't keep it on my shelf. And my favorite one is the milk and roses.
I like the lavender. I like the lavender
favorite one.
Yep, the milk and roses is very hydrating because I do use dehydrated milk in that product, and the roses just really opens up that heart chakra. It just makes you feel so good and so relaxed and decadent and sexy and sensual.
And it's good for your pores. It's really good for your pores, you guys.
And the lavender bath that you like, Jenny, it is really relaxing and calming. It's got big chunks of sea salt in there, and just the lavender. And I also put a little bit of rosemary in there, and it's just great for your skin, and it calms you down. So it's a great calming bath.
And if you have sensitive issues, you guys, because there's a lot of people out there with skin issues that are sensitive, she makes this amazing oatmeal bath. And I can't tell you, in the wintertime, especially when we have the dry skin, if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, you guys, this is the one for you. You have to get the oatmeal one. It calms it.
Thank
You have a
you.
little kid, they're out playing in the woods and they get a little bit of that poison ivy. I'm telling you, put your little one into the bath with that oatmeal.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
going to actually calm it down. Again, going from my medicinal side of it, oatmeal is very calming to the skin. It takes out that itch. It's going to really help with it. And Jenny is putting up some beautiful pictures here with the tea bags for your bath.
Yeah, and
too.
all of the bath products do come with one of those tea satchels that you could put
Yeah.
in there, so it doesn't make a mess into your tub. And my suggestion is tie that in a bow, never a knot, or it'll be hard to get undone.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
they all come with one of those. But we do other really cool tea accessories, like giant tea balls with these long chains that hang over your tub.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we
Jenny, do you have a picture of that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think we bought
Yeah.
a few of them last
I'm
year.
trying to get them loaded.
Because you guys, they're so cool, and she's got so many different charms. She really put her heart and soul into these,
Oh,
Jenay. You
thank
did such a
you.
good job
Thank
with them. It's a
you.
wonderful product.
Well, we do the thing about, when you shop my products, whether it's through my website or at their stores, it's really a truly handmade product. Like I have a very small shop. I don't even have a shop. I have a warehouse where we manufacture, and it's me and my niece and two other part-time girls. And we stir it up, we package it up, we label it up, and we really do put our heart and souls into it. So you're not getting a mass produced product.
Yeah.
You're getting small batches. And that's what matters. And sometimes they vary a little bit. Sometimes the color of the roses will vary a little bit, but that's the magic of it. That's the beauty of a handcraft product that's made in small batches with true love.
Yes,
And
definitely.
when you are with a small business, you get a better product than a mass produced, you guys.
Mhm.
Because,
do.
like you said, Jenay, you're putting the time in it, you're putting the love in it, but you're also really researching your product to get the best of the best ingredients to put in this for the consumer. And that is, for me, it's an ethical thing. I'm very cautious with the products I carry. Jenny has known me many, many years, so
Yep.
she knows I'm like extremely crazy about everything being organic and not chemical like laden stuff. So, she knows that I only carry the best of the best, and that's
Yep.
what I carry. That's
Like,
the only bad
I think we
Okay.
spent like 2 hours in her booth last year at INET.
Yes,
Just
I think we
going
did.
over everything. Like, we want this, and we want this, and we want this. Like,
Well, I'm going to miss you this year, Jenny. I mean,
I know.
that's super sad you're not going to be here, because I brought different things and different ideas and different stuff. So she'll have to bring stuff home to show
I'll take
you.
pictures, Jen, and
Oh,
send it
you
to
could,
you.
you could go on Facebook and video chat me so I can see it. You can always video
Yeah,
chat.
I can do that. I can do that.
I
I
think
got
I got
you.
pictures. Let me see if they uploaded now.
Oh, she's cutting in and out.
Can you hear me?
Give me just 1 second.
Okay, hold on. I have the pictures.
Okay.
So this is one of the ones you can get, right? Which is tea balls. That's just one example. I know you've done like the moon, you've done fairies with your tea balls before. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see the picture.
Do you need us? Jenny, can you push a pause for a second?
Yeah. I
Thank
can't.
you. Do you need us to sneak out into the hallway? We can do that.
Yes.
We can do that. Not a problem. We're gonna sneak out into the hallway, Jen, because they need to close down the room.
Okay.
I don't hear us.
So they will be joining us right back, you guys. But if you love tea, you know someone that loves tea, I always recommend coming and checking out the Kitchen Rich Gourmet. She has amazing product. I love her stuff. We get a tour of the room now.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we go live from INET. We get moved around.
Okay, so we
we're
got
gonna
this.
we're gonna do the best we can here.
We're gonna do this.
I can't go on my knees because I got to get my knees replaced.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bend. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna sit on my high knee.
As you can see, Jody on the floor. Yep, we can see you.
Okay, good. Okay, here we are. Okay, I'll stay up.
We can hold it here too.
So this is one of the examples of the tea balls that
Oh, yes.
you have in the shop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then I really do all different kinds of charms off of the tea balls, and because it's part of the magic, part of turning your teapot and teacup into a cauldron. And your cup needs jewelry, your cup needs stones, your cup needs magic. So yeah.
And then you have like pendulums too, right? You still have those?
I do. And I brought a whole bunch of great new ones, and things are getting changed around on the website. So it'll be better to access both wholesale and retail.
Oh, awesome.
So you can just go and order on the website now.
And those pendulum kits, she does this pendulum kit, you guys, and it's got a little dish and you put your tea ball on, and then you've got the pendulum, you know, the actual the tea ball, and that you can turn into a pendulum. And then she comes with this, I don't know where my camera is. It comes with a little card where it says yes, no, maybe, and a few different things in there. It is a really, really neat thing. And it's really a great gift idea for people. So you can sell it as a birthday gift, a Mother's Day gift, anniversary for people who drink tea. It's a fantastic gift.
This lighting is so hard.
Yes, it is. You know what? I'm going to stand if I can get up.
So,
normal. What can I say?
I know we've kind of talked about it, but what are some health benefits of tea?
Tea, well, it's lower in sugar and calories than soda pop. We're still trying to find a place to be since we got kicked out of
you guys sit here
the
and
room.
talk, and I'll find us chairs. How's that?
Well, I don't want to be in the lighting because that lighting is so ugly. So plain. I'm going to sit right here up against this wall.
That works. We can both sit down on
Yeah. Here.
There we go, guys.
Better.
We are really sorry for all the moving around. But when you're at a convention, you got to make it with what we got.
Yes. Gotta do what we gotta do.
Yes. Okay. I'm good now. Now we are all good. We're doing the things.
We are.
We're taking our shoes off and getting comfortable in the hotel.
And don't worry,
Do it when you do it.
There's no tornado warnings going off, but it looks
Oh
like
God, I remember that. Yeah,
remember that last year?
I do.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so health benefits of
Yes.
teas. So tea really helps to regulate your blood pressure. Tea really helps to bring down anxiety because it's not pumped with over amount of synthetic caffeine and over amount of caffeine in it. Tea helps to curb your appetite, and it helps to suppress your appetite a little bit. So that's why they say green tea is good for weight loss. Green tea helps to bring down your glycemic index. So if you have a lot of sugar that you're trying to get out of your diet, green tea and cinnamon is excellent for that. And
it's a liver detoxifier.
Yeah, liver detoxifier. It's a blood purifier. There's so many good things about tea.
And it helps your kidneys. So if you're a soda pop drinker, quit drinking the soda pop and start drinking the tea. A lot better for you.
Yes.
It's actually better for you than coffee. It's not as acidic as a coffee is on your stomach. So if you have ulcers, ulcerated stomach, any kind of tummy problems, GI issues, tea is way better for you than the actual coffee.
Absolutely. And I know, like, if you work with fairies, you can give a specific type of tea. What is that type of tea, and how can people use it to give it as an offering to the fairies?
I like to use jasmine to offer to the fae folk. Jasmine tea has a history of fae offering, as well as like a longevity, can help you slip into the fairy realm. It can help bring in fae folk. So jasmine, flower fairies.
Awesome.
So with the fae folk, just out of curiosity, considering they really like the jasmine, would a hibiscus tea be a good one to use?
Any flowers.
Any flower.
Any
period?
flowers.
Okay.
It's just that the jasmine has the the folklore of it being for the fae.
Gotcha.
So they also really like roses, they like lavender, anything that you want to bring into it. I've recently done a new tea called Everlasting, and it is a bergamot, so it's kind of like an Earl
Ooh.
Grey
Ooh.
with jasmine and lavender. So it's like super florally, super flowery tea.
Did you bring that here?
I did.
Oh, I'm going to be hitting you up tomorrow for some of that.
I did. It's actually it's my ode to Dorian Gray, actually. The
Ooh.
everlasting, age-defying longevity of Dorian Gray.
So considering we're talking about this wonderful tea, I'm going to pick on Jenay a little bit here.
Okay.
So Jenay, know that with your tea, you give tea bags. So we're going to teach the people out in the world. So you ladies, I've been traveling for a few days. I look a little ragged. I've been on the road for 3 days. You get the big old baggies underneath here. When you're done with your drinking your tea, especially if you have a green tea, taking the cool bags, cool, not hot, cool, and placing it on your eyes and underneath here will get rid of that puffiness. It
It's true.
also helps to decrease wrinkles around your eyes,
It's true.
guys.
And that is the caffeine that does that.
That is true.
It's a nice cooling caffeine on your eyes. It's really, really
Yep.
nice.
It tightens everything up, but it also pulls out that fluid.
And okay, so here's a whole other thing. So say if you have smelly feet, because it happens.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so a really strong cold iced tea, like plain black tea, helps to reduce the sweating in your feet. And if you soak your feet in it, it helps to reduce the sweating and to eliminate odors.
Ooh.
You're telling me I have stinky feet, Jenay.
I was not telling you that.
That was her slight hint to Jody.
I just figured we had our shoes off. It was
It's
just a
true.
good, prelude to this.
But it's helpful. It's one of those things that are helpful.
It's because
Definitely.
we secrete different things out of the glands of our feet, and the tea will help
Draw
to
it out.
Draw it out.
Draw
and
it
get
out,
rid of
yep.
it. Mhm.
Definitely. So, is there like a proper way to kind of brew the tea? Like, I know some people just do like tea bags. Some people do other ways. Is there like a proper way for you?
There is. And of course, in my book highlighted, in my fancy book, all of the proper brew times and brewing methods are in the book. But ultimately, tea is as old as time, right? It started out, some leaves fell in some water, and now you're drinking tea or herbal tea or whatever. And I really believe it's to taste. If you like really super strong bitter green tea, but there I am, bitter green tea, then drink it if that's what makes you happy. If you really like to get that water to a specific temperature and you really just like to pop that tea bag in there for 30 seconds, if that's your jam, drink it like that.
Mhm.
And I really believe that brewing tea is your own magic and your own witchery, and you should brew it the way you want to.
Absolutely.
But certain people will tell you that you have to brew it at this temperature for this long. And I'm not saying that's not how you get the optimal cup of flavor. Certainly. I'm just saying do it the way you want to.
Except for if you're from
Definitely.
England, you have to have a kettle. They don't believe in microwaving the water, guys. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't either,
England,
actually.
England, you should, yes. And I'll tell you something, you guys. If you do decide to get yourself a kettle, you're gonna be really happy with it, because when you're steeping the tea, it tastes different than just doing the microwave. There is definitely a difference.
Definitely.
And like Jenay says, it brings that magical component into it because you're creating. So when you're making your tea, infuse it with your manifestations for the day. Do magic every morning with your tea. Do the tea magic, like she is saying. She has got all sorts of great ideas in her book that you can go from. And if you don't have the book right now, you know what? Manifest for a good day. I'm gonna have a good day. Stir a little. If you want honey or
Yep.
milk in your tea, that's great. Stir it in. If you don't want anything in your tea, that's fine. Just stir it. You can stir it with your finger, or you can just hold that cup of tea and just imbue it into your tea by holding that cup of tea. It is all about your manifestations, and tea is such a wonderful thing. It truly is magical. I mean, that's just what I'm gonna
It
say.
is. You
I would
brew it
rather
up.
that than coffee any day of the week. So
Yeah. So you've been in the pagan community for a long time. What changes have you seen from when you were young to now? Kind of what changes have you seen with the community, tea, tea rise, or anything?
Yeah, community is definitely changing for sure, all over,
Definitely.
for good, for bad, for both, for indifferent. I'm finding that there's a lot more cultural appropriation crackdown. Like, you can't sell dream catchers if you're not native, and that can be hard sometimes because sometimes people really relate to the weaving of the dream catcher, and they might just be as white as can be, but we don't know what their past lives were.
Right.
And
Yep.
so, you have to just be so careful. If you're white, you can't sell dream catchers. And I find that's a little hard in the community. People have gotten a little strict on sage and dream catchers. And
Oh yeah.
if you are, if you sell hoi hoi, or you're practicing voodoo, and you're white, you can't. And that bothers me. But, I'm also respectful for it. I can understand where that's coming from. So I'm okay with that. But that's a big change that I've seen.
Yeah, there's definitely been. I mean, just I've been a practicing witch for over 45 years, and you have seen the different changes. I mean, I'll admit it. I used to use white sage. I always used to use white sage because we all did.
Yep.
Until I understood that, for the indigenous culture, okay, I'm going to I'm putting myself out on the limb here, you guys. I truly do work with the indigenous. I've got a associate that I work with, and yes, the white sage, like a lot of the pagan communities, like, oh, you can't use it. Actually, the indigenous people want us to use it, but we're using it improperly. It is used as a blessing. It's not used for cleansing negativity. It was used as a blessing. So there's where it was the education of it that was being misused. However, in Wisconsin, so I've been working with some different people in a little bit northern part of Wisconsin. My sister's from up there. And so I go up to the reservation. I know some people up there, and they're like, my God, we love it when you buy it because it helps us. We're keeping our culture going. So there is a lot of misgivings because so many people became cultural appropriate with things that we are learning inappropriate things too. Now, I personally do not carry the white sage in my store because I thought I was doing the right thing by the indigenous people. But after recently hearing that, I got to be honest. I gotta think about it twice, and I want to talk to my very close indigenous person here locally in Stillwater. And Paul will give me the proper direction whether I should or should not. Right now, I carry blue sage, I carry garden sage, I carry cedar sage, different stuff like that, but I don't carry the white. So we have to really think twice about that in all cultures. And I think you would agree with that because, even with tea, depending on what culture a person comes from, how they've used tea in the past, people do it differently.
Oh yeah.
I think that people do drink tea differently, just depending on if you're English or Asian or American. I just want people to drink it. I just want people to enjoy it and not worry about it. If it makes you feel good, by all means, drink it. If you're think you're brewing it wrong, you're not. If it tastes good, it's perfect. And I want people to understand that more, that it is just magical and it's important and it's healthy, and just drink tea.
Drink tea.
Drink tea. It's
Yeah.
good for
Drink
you.
tea.
But as for the pagan community changing, the whole world should change.
Yes.
If the world was ice creams and lollipops, nobody would change. It would just all be like, oh, we're going to eat these ice creams and lollipops.
And then we'd be all like the little people on Wall-E, where we're all like just little arms. And just a fat body and just little
Are you
arms.
talking about what are they called?
Isn't it Wall-E? It's a Disney movie or a
Oompa
Pixar.
Loompas?
What was it?
Oompa Loompas from
No.
Willy Wonka?
Oh. No, it's
It-
Wall-E, I think.
Well, anyway, the world
Yeah, it
should
doesn't matter.
change, and
we have to change.
we change and we learn and we grow together and we learn together. And as long as it stays all encompassing, I don't like to bash anybody's magic. Everybody does magic their own way. This is a practice, with paganism is very solitary. and it's something you can do alone, and you're doing it right.
Yes.
There's no wrong ways to do it. You can do it in a group. You can call it a coven. You can call it a circle. You can call it whatever you want. Just let your heart go and feel it. And if it feels right, you're doing it right.
And I will agree with Jenay with that, because you're right. As long as it feels right, you're doing it right. Because there are so many new practices being discovered or created
Mhm.
on
Oh,
a
yeah.
daily basis.
Mhm.
So as long as you are feeling good about it, I love that.
Yep.
So what else do you have coming up for us? I mean, you have this beautiful book, The Tea
I
Magic.
do.
Do you have another book in the works for us that we should be thinking about
You know,
watching
I'm
for?
working on it. I'm going to start. I've been taking notes on it, and I'm going to start on a new tea spell book. People were
Ooh.
really into more spells to do with the tea,
Mhm.
so I'm going to be working on. I'm working on that now. I don't know. It's going to take at least a year to get that really rolling.
Mhm.
And I just created the new everlasting tea, so that's out and new. And that's it right now. I think I'm going to go through a new design for the bath teas. That's going to change soon. And, not only do I just manufacture products and sell them to other stores, but I also have a rigorous event schedule that I do. So not only do I do wholesale shows, but I do really like fancy pants, gourmet food
Ooh.
shows, and I do really nice high-end craft shows, and I do Pangaea. That's a great pagan show. And that is right when I get back from,
Oh, wow.
that's
Yeah.
like next weekend.
Holy
So
cow.
yeah,
Back-to-back,
it's back to
guys.
back. I get very
Back to
busy.
back.
I get very busy. And and I also have a tea of the month. So I have a tea of the
Nice.
month club that you can join. And every month you get a tea or a spice sent to you. And you always get one or the other. And you get a sample of something. And you get a mystery gift.
And how
Ooh.
are they going to find out about that? Do they go to your website?
You can go to my website, and it's kitchenwitchgourmet.com, and you can sign up for tea of the month. It's $25 a month. That includes shipping, and you get way more than $25 worth. I spoil you guys. I really do. I really do. And everybody loves the mystery gifts. They are like,
Sure.
"Oh my God, I love the mystery gift. It was so perfect." And so
Oh, wow.
that's one of the funnest things that we put together.
Jenay puts a lot of thought into her
Oh, yeah.
product. It's a lot of heart and soul into it. What about divination? So you talk a little bit about divination. So Jenay, we're gonna call you out on it.
Okay.
So do you do tea leaf readings?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, so are
I
you gonna
do.
write a tea leaf reading book one of
I
these
don't
days?
know if I'm going to
Oh.
do that because tea leaf reading is so subjective, also,
Mhm.
and there's just so many nuances to tea leaf reading. I don't know if I'm quite ready to write that book, but maybe I'm definitely in the next tea spell book. There will be more tea leaf reading chapter, a more heavy chapter
Nice.
in that.
So-
But I like to use the pendulum in tea leaf reading because it really helps. Because pendulums, yes, they go back and forth and side to side, but sometimes they go diagonal, and
Diagonal,
sometimes
yep.
they spin in a circle. And so I
Mhm.
do like to use those. And one of the things that I talk about in the book, like a surreptitious way to do a quick pendulum reading. So say if you're sitting in Starbucks and you ordered a tea and you've got the tea bag, you can use that tea bag as a pendulum. So if you're sitting there with your tea bag and you're like, oh, I wonder if you're waiting to go on a job interview, like, oh, am I going to like this job? And you can start getting little answers, yes or no. Am I going to like this boss? And how's the interview going to go? And so, you can use a tea bag for pendulum.
And what she's got up on the screen right now is one of the pendulum gift sets. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I sold a lot of them at Christmas time. They're a great gift. My goodness sakes. I know it sounds crazy, but you guys, grandmas love them
Yeah, they do.
because
yeah.
grandmas, and okay, I'm old. So, my grandma's age, that was a thing back in the day. It would like to do divination, to do like
Mhm.
pendulum, and to do teas.
Mhm.
And they would sit and gossip around coffee or tea. And
Just for
they
a
used,
minute.
yes, and they used to do that kind of stuff. So they love to sit and do stuff like that, to play with the divine. That was something that we did. I don't know how to turn this. There we go.
There we go.
So
It's your turn to hold it.
that's okay. I'll hold it as I'm all about helping here. We got to share. So, but I absolutely love them, and I love those little, because they're just so ornate. The little dish underneath it is so ornate, and it's so
Oh, yeah.
dainty. It's so adorable.
Definitely.
So one of the things about tea leaf reading that I think is really important, because you just throw the tea directly into the water,
Mhm.
and you're holding your cup and you're talking with your mom, your grandma, your sister, your best friend, and you're drinking your tea and you're talking and the water's there, and pretty soon the water itself, you scry into that water. The water holds vibration.
Yes.
And when you're holding your teacup and you're talking about, like, say, oh, that no good so and so, he's no good, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the bottom of your teacup, you're like an axe is in there. It's just like cutting something in half
Mhm.
because the vibration of the water as you talk, your vocal cords vibrate the water to help paint the leaves into the pictures and symbols that you are interpreting.
Yep.
So the whole water is really important part and element of tea leaf reading.
And she's right. I've been doing tea leaf readings for a few years, and she's right. That element is so important. Another just food for thought, guys. Don't go and buy, from Walmart or the grocery store, the little bagged. You have to use the loose leaf. The
Yeah.
loose leaf is way better because when you use the bagged leaves, they're chopped up too thin. You're not going to get the story. You really want to use the loose leaf. It's way better.
Mhm.
And the technical term is tasseomancy or tassography, and really it's a sediment reading. So you can read tea leaves, you can read coffee grounds, you can even read the wine sediment in the bottom of your glass.
Yes,
So
you
it's
can.
any kind of sediment reading. And so if you're out and about and you're practicing and you're just kind of let your mind go soft and you're staring in your cup at the sediment in the bottom of your wine, go with it. Tell your friend what you see, go with it. If
Mhm.
you're having your tea and you let your mind go soft and you start seeing pictures, if you see it, say it. Don't second question
Mhm.
yourself. That's when you lose the answers. Go
Definitely.
with the first things that you see in your cup.
Always go with that
Oh,
first
yep.
intuition. Janae?
Yes.
Definitely. Always go with the first one.
Yes.
Whatever it comes to, it's often always the true one. Even like with oracle card readings and tarot readings, whatever
Mhm.
pops up that you see in the photo is what is supposed to be meant for you.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm. And even if you don't understand what you're reading or you're seeing or hearing, it may not be directly for you, but it's a message that the universe wants you to know because maybe you need to relay that message to a loved one. That can happen too. So just be aware of that. A lot of readers will second guess themselves in the beginning. Would you not agree with that?
Yeah, yeah.
I totally agree
And
with that.
so you have to just go with it. Just
You
go with
have
it.
to just go with it and let it come out.
So, Jenay, what else do we have coming up this summer besides what was it called?
Pangaya.
Pangaya?
And
Got
I,
Pangaya next week. And what do you got coming up in
Well,
July?
July is my personal month because actually July is very
Ooh.
slow for tea sales. I can tell people to ice tea 7 ways to,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. He doesn't sell as much in the summer.
Gotcha.
It's really, so I take July off, and that is my slow time. It's when I go visit family in Oregon. It is when I go and go on camping trips, and it's when I work as little as possible because I work so much all
Oh,
year
yes.
long.
oh yeah.
I do, and then I have like some random
Just-
little shows in August. Like I think I have a home and garden event, and then in September I finally got accepted into the Pleasanton Scottish Games.
Ooh, what's
Ooh.
this?
Well, yeah, it's like a Celtic fair. It's the 157th Scottish Games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's big. It's a big deal, and you have to be invited. You can't just go on and fill out an application. And so, since I do a different Celtic fair in the area, the Sonora Celtic Fair, I just finally got the invite. I
Oh my gosh, I'm
asked,
so excited for you.
Yay!
This is great
and like
news.
one year, like it's very Scottish. Like one year, Diana Gabaldon of the Outlander series,
Yes.
like
Oh
she goes
wow.
and autographs books there.
wow.
So it's a big show.
Big ordeal.
And there's like all the Scottish games, like the throwing of the logs. What is that called?
I don't know the game, but I know they got to lift that log up in the air and,
Yes.
and then you throw it.
Yes,
Yep,
all of
you have to
that
throw
there.
it.
And the reenactment camps and
wow.
it's really cool. It's really
Wow.
magical. It's really I'm
That
super
sounds so
excited.
much fun.
So I have that going on Labor Day weekend, and that's in Pleasanton at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. And then I move into the Harvest Festival, which is a really high-end gourmet food and craft show circuit that I do. And I'll do like Ventura on the beach, and then I do San Mateo, San Francisco, um, Las Vegas, and LA. So,
She is, yeah, busy.
and
Yeah,
that's just
busy.
Wow. Wow.
That is crazy. So you kind of mentioned on it. Can you use your teas to do iced teas as well, or is it more
Yes.
of the other kind?
No, you can ice any of the
Mhm.
teas for sure. Herbal tea and black tea make the best iced tea. You can ice green tea. You just have to be careful not to, well, sun tea. It's hard with green tea to make sun tea because if you leave green tea in the water too long, it does get really bitter and
Okay.
people get
Mhm.
really like, I don't like this. So you just have to watch it to flavor. And then when you get to the flavor you like, pull it and then ice it. Like let it
Gotcha.
cool first, then ice it. And a little trick to iced tea. So what I do is I just do it so quick. I will boil the water and pour it in a Kool-Aid pitcher and put the tea in there and let it cool.
Mhm.
And then I'll pour it into ice
I was
trays
going to say, you put it
and
into the
then
ice
put
cubes.
it into the freezer. So then you're
Mhm.
not diluting your tea when you're drinking it, but you're still
Yeah.
getting cold iced tea with the ice cubes.
What a great idea. Because a
That
lot
is
of,
a great idea.
yeah.
And I make popsicles out of tea also.
Oh, wow. What a great idea.
I know. Just
That is such a good idea.
Dixie cups, a popsicle stick, some saran wrap on top. Boom, popsicles.
That's the way to do it, especially when it's
Mhm.
hot in the summer. You guys,
Yeah.
July and August especially. Of course, June's been teeing up to be a pretty hot month this year,
Hmm.
at least in Minnesota.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm not sure about home for you if it's been pretty hot this summer already.
It's actually been kind of cool this summer where I'm from, but it's normally really super hot. And for the last how many years, we've had such raging wildfires
Yes.
in Northern California where I live. So this year it's been very rainy and it hasn't been so hot. So it's been a blessing. It
So
really
I was going to
has
say, it's been a blessing for you for tea.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's been good.
Great.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this beautiful, you got a tea, the teacup in this, or I'm sorry,
Oh,
tea
sure.
pitcher, but you've got the strainer. So talk to them, for the people who don't know a lot about teas, explain what that is and what they're using it
Yeah,
for.
certainly. That slips inside the teapot right there. It
Mhm.
sits there and you put the tea in that. Now, just a little bit. You don't want to fill that up with tea,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you put a few tablespoons of tea into the bottom of that filter and you put that into the teapot and you pour your water over there and it kind of floats around in that tea strainer. So it really helps to release the flavors of the tea and release all of its finer notes of flavor. And that's that. And I sell those on my website in black and purple and white. And
Ooh.
yeah, so you get 2 teacups, the tray, the teapot.
Nice.
I think it's like $30. I think. I don't
It's
know.
a really reasonable
It
price.
That's a reasonable price. Yeah.
Guys, it is very, very reasonable. And like I said, it's an amazing product. Do you have big events coming up like in September, October for yourself this year?
I do. Well, September I have the
I don't know which way to put
I
my head
know.
in there.
I know it's hard. It's this
We're
it's,
trying to
it's hard to
sell
do
it.
in a hall in a hotel doing
It
this.
really is.
And holding the computer. We got kicked out of the other room.
We got kicked out of our room.
Well, Jody, do you remember last year when we did the show? I was down by the event center. You were up in the hallway, and the guys from I can't remember.
Yeah,
We were right next to the incense guys. I can't think of their company name. They kept walking by like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing my radio show."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ace or whatever his name was. But yeah, no, we were sitting outside in the hallway because they said we could be in there. I told them we were going to need it for an hour. They said it was fine. Then the boss came in and said no, we couldn't. So I'm like, okay.
Boss man.
The boss.
So we're just trying to make it work,
Yes.
But I wanna really promote Jenay's beautiful website here, Kitchen Witch Gourmet.
But I also want to promote their stores that also carry my tea. So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter
Yes.
where you find the tea, just find the tea.
Find the tea.
But definitely buy the book. So the book
Yes.
is called Tea Magic.
Where is that? I'm
And
gonna
you
hold it
can
for
get
ya.
that on llewellyn.com or you can get it on Amazon. And it is Tea Magic, and that will take you through all of the teas and all of the
we go.
There we are. But she's got it up
Oh,
there.
she's got it up there. So we're
And
good.
it'll take you through the teas, how to brew them, how to use them with magic, how to use like honey to create sigils in your tea that you can
Yes.
also imprint your magic onto as you talk over your tea. Like if you're brewing a tea for somebody that you love, like your significant other or your children or something, and you want to draw a heart with the honey into the tea and
Mhm.
then you want to speak over the cup,
Mhm.
I love you. So you take that vibration, right, of your words that vibrates the water, and it's got the sigil of the heart. So then when you
Absolutely.
offer them that tea, they are taking in your love. They are knowing that you love them because they feel the vibration. They've got the
Yes, they do.
sigil in there, and then they've got
Mhm.
just the warm cup of
I
deliciousness.
call it putting in my prana when I talk into stuff like that.
Yep.
Because you're putting in your
Definitely.
essence. But yes, I do carry her book at my store. I know Jenny and Bonnie have it at Enchanted Boutique also. So we are great resources to come and get it.
Yep.
I am going to get my hands on some because, I may or may not know Michelle is here from Llewellyn. I'm going to get a couple extra ones.
And I'm going to sign them
And I'm
for
going to
you.
get them signed.
Yeah.
Mhm. Get
So-
me
I'll have
too.
a signed copy of books.
Yay.
Yes.
That's cool. Well, it's been so much fun.
I'm so glad that we could make this happen, even though I'm not in Denver today.
We're
Stupid
sorry
car
about
accident.
that.
Yeah, and we're sorry about the shifting in the hall and all of the things. So
No
that's
worries.
but all about tea magic and just the whole thing about a cup of tea. It just is a great ritual.
It
It's
is.
Definitely.
calming, it's relaxing.
It is. It's a fantastic thing.
It's a good ritual, and it's a good thing to get your kids involved in too. It's a great nighttime ritual if you can get a nice lavender chamomile blend,
Mhm.
calms you down, calms the nervous system, really helps to take you into dreamland, and it's a nice ritual rather than making the ice cream with the goodies on top and just
Mhm.
sitting down in front of the TV. That's not a healthy ritual, but it's a ritual. So making a cup of tea is a much healthier ritual, and it's still doing something and then sitting down and watching your programs or reading your book. It just helps it just changes the place. So now you're letting go of so
Yes.
much sugar, you're letting go of so much fat, but you've still got your ritual and you still got things that taste good.
It's shifting the energy.
And then you
Shifting
turn
the
it into
energy,
popsicles, and now you have popsicles.
Yeah.
And then, popsicles melt, then you can have like slushies, like tea slushies.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
other thing too is like when I'm getting ready to settle in to do astral traveling, I usually will have a cup of tea because it puts me in a mind space. So, like you were saying, for the ritualistic purpose, that's my ritual to do. And there's some great teas that she carries that will be perfect for that. She's got some really
Definitely.
good ones.
Yeah, Sleepy's is great
Yes, it
because
is.
Sleepy's has not only it has a little peppermint to stimulate the synapses in your brain
Mhm.
to help it receive the chamomile and lavender that's in there, but there's also a little bit of kava kava in there.
And kava kava is amazing. I
It really
love
helps to
kava kava.
relax your muscles and your body. So if you're having any kind of like kicky leg syndrome or any kind of irritability, the kava kava sleepies tea is amazing because it will help get your body prepared to do astral traveling by just
Yes, it will.
relaxing you completely, and it'll help put you into a nice deep relaxation.
And I hate to
Absolutely.
tell you this, Jenny, but I think they're locking up this part too, and I bet you we're going to get kicked out of this little area now too.
Probably.
So
So
So we gotta
thank
wrap it up.
you.
yes, we
Thank you
do.
for coming on.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
me.
We figured it out, but we got it to happen. So everyone go check out her book. Go check out her products.
Thank
They're
you.
amazing. And yeah, maybe we'll get her up to Minnesota in one of these days.
We were actually discussing that before we got on to do the program tonight. That when she's going to be out doing her book tour, she is going to hit us up and
Yes.
come out and see us. And I'm going to get her into my store, and I'm going to have her doing workshops, guys.
Yeah.
So she's going to teach some classes. So please watch my website and keep in touch with us, and we'll get you involved with that.
Absolutely. Well, everyone have a great night. We'll see you guys when you return from, or I'll see Jody when she returns from Denver.
I will. I'll be back next week.
Yep.
Bye, you guys.
Yeah,
Drink
see
your
you
tea.
Bye,
next
everybody.
week. Bye. And that was Jenay and Jody live from Denver. next week we have ACG Paranormal on, which I'm super excited to have Nat and Elliot on. Russ will be back next week. Otherwise, we'll see you all next Sunday. Bigger and better things are coming for Unturned Pages. Just stay tuned and have a magical night. Bye, guys. Hold on. I didn't do my live. Oops, see you guys.